Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fans and for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we're shipping out today on Friday, but it was our second worst day so far in September, which is pretty sad, but there's still a couple cool things to talk about. We also ended up seeing the Long Walk movie. That was a really good one. So I guess, like, I don't know how to say, it's a little gory or something, or a little bit more somber note, but it was a good movie that we saw. So it's been a bit since we saw a movie. All right, first up is going to be this Hero Realms right here. This is going to be a player mat for a game. I believe the company is called like White Dwarf Star or White Dwarf, I believe. They started with Star Realms, which was a 2-player spaceship game, which was super popular. Played in like 10 or 15 minutes. They ended up making an app just as good. You can play like 80 different games with people because, like, as you're waiting for your turn, someone else can take their turn, kind of like those crossword games. So this is the playmat right here. Hero Realms is going to be their fantasy version of the game. This is just a nice like vinyl map for it. This game wasn't as popular as the Star Realms or sci-fi one, but because it was one of their like second products, a lot of people still bought it just to take a look at it. This game's from a long time ago, but people like to pick up their little accessories and play mats for board games. I like to pick them up as well. I don't get every play mat for every game, but it is nice to have it thematic and have little slots for where everything goes. I can also just play on a table. It's not a big deal. All right, this one went for $19.99 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping. Next up is the new Christy Minstrels Today right here record. I don't know too much about records. Actually, I know nothing about records. We just happened to get a couple hundred of these for free because someone knew that we did eBay. They were going to be thrown out, and I was like, oh, I'll give them a shot. So, you know, no cost other than my time and the little bit of space. I have them in like egg crates in the storage unit, and once they're all gone, I'm not going to replace them because I'm not a records person unless if I get something super cheap or free. But yeah, these end up, excuse me, this end up going for $6.80, so nothing too fancy. Most of them are within like the lower price range. So I didn't have too many rare ones, or the ones I did have where there weren't many listed, I did get like $20, $30, $40. They were more, I think, like foreign ones. All right. That was a bit ago. Next up is going to be these Repels and Variants 97 Counter Chic for the Gamers Magazine. So the Gamers Magazine is going to be one of those like wargaming magazines that would have games, and sometimes they have upgrade tokens, or sometimes they have full-fledged games. So this is one of like the counter sheets you get. This one's just missing one, which is not the biggest deal. Only missing one is easily replaceable. Like these small little cardboard token chits. You can get like blank ones of different colors to kind of replace pieces like this. But I saw no one had this 97 variant, or like the number 97. I saw like 98 and stuff up there. So even with one missing piece, I ended up getting $31.19. All right, moving along, we got some Civil War books, just 2 of them. I got a bunch of military books, or just, yeah, they were more historical and stuff. So one of them is about Gettysburg. I forgot what the other one's about. They're just like these thin, kind of almost like comic book-ish like style books. These end up going for $9.83. Nothing too crazy, but everything adds up. All right, moving along. Even though we had less sales for the numbers, I still like things moving, that people are still looking at the shop and still picking up stuff. This just happened to be a lot of lower end things today. We have this D&D book, The Tide of Years by Penumbra, I think. There you go. Sorry, I said that right. This is a D20 system book, which means it works with Dungeons and Dragons, where you roll D20s to have like skill checks or combat resolved. And then I had a bunch of these at one point. This is just like a little third-party adventure someone can go through, and a dungeon master can use to start for the basis for their adventure, or they can just use it and have the players go through it. A lot of people like to pick up different adventures and have fun with them. So, yep, this was the last one I had. I had like a quantity on it at some point. This ended up going for $8. So, like I said, once again, nothing too crazy, but it was cool to see like a replenishable finally run out. Well, I guess it'd be cooler to have more, but it meant that people constantly got it. I think I sold that one between like $8 to $12 mostly. All right, this one's kind of like a weird, unique one. We got a bunch of these MS-DOS discs at a estate sale. And then there was also all these like PC like manuals and ephemera and stuff we got. So it was a super cool one to go through. We found a bunch of the stuff in the back room where they said that it was like junk, and then I still went through the junk, and that's where we actually found most of our stuff. So this one actually has a bunch of games that I think the person put on it. So it says Joust, Pinball, Shooting Gallery, Mustang Arcade, Funny Face, Family Feud, I think, and then Volleyball. So I wasn't able to check any of these discs, but this person also had a bunch of other rare stuff that was selling when I was listing it. So I know that they had like a good taste, or they had a lot of cool stuff. So I also sold some dice from them. I also sold some of those manuals. I also sold some of the PC game manuals. I got some PC games. I got some posters and stuff from that one. Ended up going for $17.59 for that. So yeah, there was also like I did these big lots of different various discs, MS-DOS discs as well. Those will eventually sell, and I used to pick those up when she would find cool little like just containers of them. She said people pick them up, and they have before. All right, I don't know if we were recording when we sold one of those, but I'll get to it when it sells. All right, last thing for the day is 5 of these Sesame Street hardcover books. There was like an early time. So this was from a yard sale. I think we paid like a quarter for it. It was almost like I saw it and I'm like, oh, I can make a lot. It'll take me like a minute when I get home to make this listing. So someone's going to appreciate it. But for the children's books, I remember like super early on when we were doing yard sales, really early on, like 4 or 5 years ago, that there was like this person that used to get pallets, and then they would like post pictures and come pick out stuff, and there's children books, and there's a bunch that I recognized from when I was a kid, so I thought that they would do better, so we got like a full car full for like 32 bucks, and we did slowly sell them over time and made a ton of money. But I wouldn't do the children's books again. I'm not too sure if there's any rare ones. Maybe there is, but just like at this point I've dealt with so many children's books that I just almost never get them, even though this one was like a quarter. So this only sold for $7.92. Everything counts and matters, but just I think that's like just one of the categories where we do like to sell everything, but the children's books and the cherished teddies, those little like collectible things, are kind of like two things that I personally just don't want to deal with anymore. All right, that's everything. That's it. I am going to try to be listing live tomorrow. I don't know what time it will be for people or even for me. I have to see if I can get it set up. I'm going to try to do that. We have to pack this stuff up, get it shipped out. I'm going to list for today, and then I have to get everything ready for tomorrow. I also have to, if I'm doing it live, I have to have like bins ready and items more ready than I would normally have, because I want to be like in one place and doing it. So if you want to tune into that, I don't know, anywhere between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is when I'm going to start. Probably do it for 2 to 4 hours or something, or see how it goes. All right. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help support us, take a look at our links down below. Have a good one.